Today is Friday, May 8th, 2026. Welcome to This Week in Natural Refrigerants News, where we recap the top stories on naturalrefrigerants.com. This podcast is generated and read by artificial intelligence and may contain errors. We're your hosts, AT&MO, and the articles for today's podcast were organized by naturalrefrigerants.com's managing editor and written by its writers. You can find links to each article in the show notes. So we are jumping straight into a massive week for natural refrigerant deployment, from North American data to European transport.
Yeah, it is a really huge week.
Right, because imagine you're running a massive industrial freezing plant, and you hear the EPA just delayed low GWP requirements to 2032. You'd probably, hit the brakes on your expensive upgrades.
You really would. I mean, it's the logical thing to do. But looking at the newly released atmosphere report, well, North American industries just did the exact opposite.
They really did. We were seeing a 28% jump in North American transcritical CO2 adoption for 2025. That's 6,360 sites.
And the industrial installations actually spiked by 42%.
Okay, wait, I'm stuck on that. If the federal rules are delayed, why the massive industrial spike?
Well, because the federal delay doesn't pause state-level policies. Like, if you manage a facility in New York, you're facing strict targets that essentially force natural solutions right now.
Oh, right. Plus the mounting regulatory heat on PFAS, I imagine.
Exactly. Facility managers are treating the market's momentum like a freight train. It just can't be stopped by federal delays, and, they want to meet corporate sustainability goals today.
So they upgrade now rather than panic later. But that heavy North American growth demands specialized components, which is drawing in international players.
Right, like French manufacturer Carly, who is entering the U.S. market.
Yeah, their Turboil RP14 transcritical CO2 oil separators just got UL certification.
And those are rated at a massive 140 bar.
Which is crazy. I was looking at their business model, and it feels like a boutique custom shop. I mean, they are willing to do small batch orders of 10 to 20 units.
Yeah, which is kind of wild for an American market that's used to ordering in the millions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But mechanically, how are they separating oil from CO2 at 140 bar? That sounds like trying to catch mist in a hurricane.
That's a solid way to visualize it. A standard centrifugal separator just won't cut it. So Carly uses this patented multi-stage dynamic and static design.
So the gas goes through a dynamic spin first to drop the heavier oil.
Yep, and then a static coalescing filter catches the remaining aerosolized mist. It boasts a 99.5% efficiency.
Wow. Okay, so custom engineering solves high-pressure needs, but adapting CO2 systems for specific regional needs brings us to Latin America.
Right. At IIRR 2026, Mexican OEM FB Industrial highlighted their EcoFlex R290 chillers.
And R290 is propane, right, for medium temperature used in high ambient climates.
Exactly. They advocate pairing R290 with CO2 in a cascade system.
Is this R290 and CO2 cascade setup basically the ultimate cheat code for bypassing CO2's high ambient efficiency drops?
It really is. You use the R290 to subcool the CO2 for low temperature freezing.
So instead of the CO2 fighting the soaring ambient temperatures outside, the propane takes the heat.
Precisely. The CO2 never reaches its critical point, so it runs highly efficiently in a liquid state, regardless of the weather.
Amazing. So from commercial chillers to massive civil infrastructure relying on CO2.
Swiss OEM Biagini Frigoriferi, they just installed 2 reversible CO2 heat pumps at a historic Ticino railway station.
Right, replacing legacy fossil burners. I just have to, marvel at the sheer mechanical versatility there.
For sure. They are delivering 412 kilowatts of heating at 70 degrees Celsius and 660 kilowatts of cooling simultaneously.
From the exact same CO2 cycle, and it cuts 250 metric tons of CO2 equivalent annually.
It's an incredible environmental win. You aren't just dumping thermal energy, you're harvesting it.
Absolutely. Finally, let's talk about taking that heavy-duty F-gas-free cooling and putting it on wheels.
Yes. In Milan, Novalis Energy Group and Ecooltech are showcasing a fully electrified semi-trailer.
It features Ecooltech's TM182 propylene, or R1270, and CO2 transport refrigeration unit.
Right, and it's completely powered by a solar roof, an electric axle, and a plug-in battery.
So it uses 60 to 80% less energy than diesel units. Which leaves you wondering, with kinetic recovery and solar powering R1270 and CO2 units today, will diesel transport refrigeration become totally obsolete well before the phase-out deadlines?
I mean, the technology is definitely moving fast enough to make you think so.
This is AT&MO, and this has been the Week in Natural Refrigerant News.